Hey everyone, this is Andreas speaking from PatentSight. We wait maybe 1 more minute until some late people can join the webinar as well, and then we talk about our new search syntax. Just 1 more minute. All right, I would say we get it going. So a warm welcome to everyone to another LexisNexis PatentSight user webinar. We're back from the summer break, so it's I hope all of you had nice summer vacations or will have have nice summer vacation. It's already our 11th user webinar, and today we are going to talk about our new search syntax. Before I do a quick introduction, some logistics. So as always, this webinar will be recorded, and we will provide you with a link later on for the recording of the webinar. So to the ones who have something better to do, don't worry, the webinar will be recorded. But of course, I want most of you to stay on the line, or all of you stay on the line. Also, as in the other webinars, we have a Q&A section within the GoToWebinar application. So feel free to ask questions there. We try to answer them as good as we can. Yes. Today we are going to talk about our new search syntax. So for the ones who have been our customers for a longer time now, they know we were rather focused on the patent analytics part, not so much on the search part. And of course, we also recognize that we have to develop something here as well. Customers want to go for an integrated tool, and that's why we're going want to provide more options or better options to search within PatentSight. Especially we will want to go in the direction of smart searching, but also, of course, we want to provide you with a let's say professional search syntax, and this is what we developed. This is what we're going to show you today, or what Shabani, my colleague, is going to show you today. And there we are already at the presenters. So my name is Andreas. I guess most of you know me. Today I'm supported, or I am actually supporting Shabani in this webinar. Shabani is one of our customer success managers within PatentSight. She has a background in biochemistry and has used our search quite a bit recently to set up technology fields for our clients, or help them set up technology fields. So she has a lot of experience, and really looking forward also from my side to learn from this experience today how to best use our new search syntax. And with this, I would like to hand over to Shabani. I already see the BI is open, and yeah, looking forward to see how to use the search.
Thank you, Andreas, and welcome everybody to today's demonstration on the syntax mode. This is a newly introduced feature in PatentSight. As Andreas said, that we are aware that it's always good to have a platform where you can do both the search and the analysis at the same time. This is one attempt to assist our clients to be able to do that. All of us who generally use PatentSight, we must have all seen that the search filter box has started to look a bit different. The ones that we are used to using, like the most conventionally and the generally used ones that we are used to using either from the top here from the search filter box or more, is now available as a visual search mode. And there is another mode which is called the syntax mode. That is the newly introduced feature. This is an attempt in PatentSight to introduce the command line option in PatentSight software so that you can generate the search criteria by typing it in. One of the advantages that it already provides you is that you can copy the searches from somewhere else, for example, a Word document or a notepad, and paste it into PatentSight and get the patents retrieved based on the PatentSight search criteria and the parameters, and do your analysis. For example, for today, I would like to start with this particular example where this is a full text search criteria, where we are searching for specific keywords combined with a proximity operator near. The search is being done in title, abstract, claim, or description of the patent document. It is combined with an AND operator with the search in the full form of SARS or MERS, where the search is being done in title, abstract, or claims. What I can do is, and what I have done is, I have just copied this from here and have pasted it into the syntax mode in PatentSight search filter box. And this is the number of patent families I have retrieved. As you can see, in the syntax mode, you not only find other options, but the include inactive and the include other IP rights both are available here as well. Cases where you would like to include the inactive ones, please check the box as we are all used to doing, and then we can work in the syntax mode as we do in the visual search mode as we used to do earlier. As you can see, today's example is a general search strategy for SARS or MERS virus. As on the reporting date being 3rd September, I have retrieved 671 active as well as inactive patent families. Just as a heads up, when I started working on this workbook on 16th July, I had retrieved 656 patent families in total. That means as the time has passed, new patents have been added to the database that satisfy this particular search criteria. I have generated this search criteria. If I don't want, I can remove the inactive ones, and I can always look into the active families. The result list, as we see, is provided here. The ones that satisfy my search criteria is provided with this gear symbol, as we all know. And if I click on here, I'm sure to find the keywords. Let's just check. I don't find any in a title or abstract. Let me check the claims. Yes, I do find the full form of SARS here in the claims, and probably in description I should have the short form of it also within 5 words of virus. Yes, I do find that. So this is the reason I retrieved this particular document and this particular patent family in my list. Now, while we are doing this, today I will try to show you a use case example of a kind of a prior art search based on this syntax. The example that I'm taking here is, say we have a patent that has been filed related to SARS or MERS on 31st March 2020. Thus, if I'm supposed to do a prior art search, I'll probably use one of these full text search criteria to see if I retrieve the relevant patent families, and I will specify the filing date as either on or before 31st March 2020. While I do this, and if I want to settle this or save this search or set up this search criteria in the syntax mode, the general way to do is I start typing in filing, and as soon as I type in this, all the possible parameters that can come up are provided. I can start selecting from that. In case I am not sure whether what I have done is actually right, it's exactly what I wanted to have, I can always go back to the visual search mode and I can check it whether I have done something right or wrong. This is the search criteria that I had set up. If you remember, I showed you I had retrieved 671 patent families when I didn't have any date specified. As soon as I specify the date, the number of patent families being retrieved goes down. So I retrieved 665 active and inactive patent families together. So it was 354 if you see before, and now if I remove the include inactive, I'll get 348. That means as time went on, I specified the date and I retrieve lesser patents. That means there must have been patents that have been filed satisfying my full text search criteria after 31st March. This particular search criteria that I have set up, I need not keep on typing it or copying and pasting it into the sheet over and over again. I can use the save search option available in PatentSight, and then I can retrieve that. If I want to save this particular search criteria as a saved search, I go to save option and it takes me to the subfolder my saved searches, and I've saved this particular search with the name Corona Prior Art 31/3/2020. Next time when I go to the sheet, or probably I open another workbook, I need not type this search criteria. I can just load the saved search. The way to do is, let me just get rid of it. If I want to retrieve my saved searches in the syntax mode, I'll press #. It allows me to browse through the saved searches I have. I click on the one that I am interested in and it gets loaded directly. If I'm in the visual search mode, this can still be done. So this, you see, I was in the syntax mode, and in visual search, it shows saved search. In the visual search mode, I go to open, and then I'm again taken to my saved search folder and I can click on it. Or the other option that is available is I go to more, and here I have saved search as my favorites, and I can click on it and I can again select the one as we generally do when we load tags. As we already discussed, that we retrieved fewer number of patents when we specified the date, and the exact difference in the quantity is 6. It may make sense to have a look at these, whether what I'm expecting that these have been filed after 31st March is right or not. So what I can do is I can just put in the full text search criteria and use the and not on my saved search, because my saved search not only has the full text, it is combined with an and operator on the filing date specification. Let's just check, because I should, if I am correct in what I'm expecting, these patent families are not supposed to affect the novelty clause of my patent application filed on 31st March. I can just look into the result list and I see, yes, they are all of them 2020 filings. Some of them are Chinese. And as you know, we have to have the correct translations being done for these patent families. Our Harmo team need to check for the errors and any kind of problems in the translation before we assign the ownership. These are very recently filed patents. That's why you see the unknown as the ownership information here for the Chinese ones. Let's just check the filing date. So this is April. And I guess the other ones will also be all in April, so or June or after the 31st March. So I should not be worried about the novelty issue regarding my application filed on 31st March. Once I have this saved search, I can always use this saved search to do my analysis. For example, you see the filing year statistics graph for the retrieve patents that satisfy my search criteria. And this is something which is also good, because when we are dealing with this particular field, we see that this very focused keyword-based search is still representing the filing statistics as and how it happened. You see an increased filing activity post 2002, which was the year of SARS outbreak, and again an increased filing activity post 2012, which was the year of MERS outbreak. So the saved search and the analysis works fine in PatentSight. We can go into further details where we can have a look at the source country of the inventions that were filed regarding this field that I have set up my search criteria on. And we see that, yes, USA and China are the main countries as the source of invention post 2002 SARS outbreak and even after 2012 MERS outbreak. Now, as I said, when I started working on this, I had retrieved fewer patents on 16th July. What I had done on that day is have tagged the patents that I had retrieved on that time and have named it prior art information as on 16th July 2020. 656 patents were retrieved that satisfied the full text search criteria and were filed on or before 31st March. as on today, 3rd September, I have retrieved 665. If I want to retrieve those tags, if you want to work with your saved tags in syntax mode, you can always do that. I have just, as I said, you just start typing in and all the available options pop up. You can select it from there. This is how this looks like, and we always can go back to the visual search mode to have a look at whether we have done it right or wrong. This is the one you are more accustomed with while working in PatentSight. Now, as we discussed this fact that the number of patents retrieved on 16th July being different by what we retrieved today, this combination of saved search and saved tag can be used for patent monitoring. This is actually a real-life practical example of patent monitoring where I have used my saved search here and I have added the and not on the tag that I have created on 16th of July where I had retrieved fewer patents. So if I have generated this workbook on 16th of July and I revisit this workbook today on the reporting date being 3rd September, I see that there has been 9 families that have been added to the database that satisfy my search criteria. That means the full text search and the date has been specified. These patents satisfy the search criteria, but they were not added to the database when I had created the tag on 16th July. So from 16th July till up till now, if I want to monitor if there are any patents, I can do that using this kind of a combination. Patent monitoring is now available in PatentSight, and once we have the alert function available, you can always generate or create an alert whenever there is more than one patent family that is retrieved based on this kind of a workflow. Now, this is also something which is very a good thing, because this is actually practical requirement, because when we are doing a prior art review search, we always need to be aware that there can be patents that have been filed before the date of my filing, but they can be published after the date of my filing. They can still affect the novelty and I still have to monitor them. You can do that in PatentSight using this kind of a combination. Let's just have a look at the patents that I have retrieved, which I know were not there on 16th of July, but they are now. Most of them are 2020 filings, so I guess that they, yes, the first publication was in August, so I definitely didn't retrieve it on 16th of July. However, I do find some of them which is 2019. It can be because the publication happened in 2020. I know you must have seen that there is a 2010 filing that I have retrieved, and the publication didn't happen in 2020. This is also because there was another momentous event that happened from 16th July till now, which is the database extension. I think all of you know that we had an extension of our database. The data coverage has increased, and this happened after 16th of July. So you see, we have retrieved a patent family that has family members from Nicaragua. NI is the country code for Nicaragua, Chile, and Malaysia. So this was definitely not in the database on 16th of July, for which I have not retrieved this. The next patent, which is an EP patent, definitely shouldn't be a database coverage issue. I guess there is a 2020 filing which claims priority to the previously filed application. That's why we retrieve it now. Same case here also, there should be another 2020 filing here based on which we are supposed to get this particular year. So it's published in 20th August, so I didn't retrieve it on 16th of July. And another 2003 application that I have retrieved is a Yugoslavian patent, which is now we are retrieving because of the data coverage extension. And this is also something should be a good news to us, because a priority can be affected by a document that is a part of the prior art published in any part of the world. So more the data coverage, better for a prior art search, which is now what we see here in PatentSight. Now, as I'm discussing this prior art search example, I know that when we have retrieved a set of patents which we think can be affecting the novelty for a patent application, while we go through it, we have to make a decision whether they actually affect the novelty or not. While you are doing it in PatentSight, you can definitely mark them whether they can affect your novelty or not by a combination of custom field. And that can be done in the results list. Now, what happens is that I know for us, we generally know that whenever we want to associate information that we have into PatentSight, we use import to custom field, we use an Excel file. But that's not the only way in which you can use this. You can always use the custom field while you're working through the results list. As for example, this is my saved search. These are the active patent families. For prior art, I can have the inactive ones also, but for now I have only the active ones. And while going through this, I may decide while I read this whether this can affect the novelty clause of my patent application or not. I may feel like I want to mark them while I go through the result list. What I can do is I can create a custom field, which I have done. So you see there in the custom field sector, there is a custom field shown here as important yes or no. What I have done is I have gone to options. I have gone to administrate custom fields and have created a new custom field here. I have specified it as the name important yes or no. This is a textual custom field, which is a single value, because I guess for every patent family, I can either say yes, it is important, or no, it is not. While I'm reviewing the result list, I can have a look at it, I can read it, and I can decide whether it is relevant or not. For example, for this particular patent family, I have said that yes, it is important. For the next one, I have said, no, it is not. For the next one, again, I have said, yes, it is important. Let's just look into the fourth one and novel compounds. Maybe this is important to be reviewed. So I add here, yes. And then the custom fields gets updated in real time while I'm working through the results list. And in case after my review is complete, I want to have a look at the patent list, which I have said may be important for my review, or the ones which I think may not be important for my review, I can always filter them using the custom field option in the search filter box. As I have loaded it here, I have specified yes, so I want to find out the patents that I have marked as maybe important for my prior art search review. And I can retrieve the patents that I have marked as important in PatentSight. Nothing that you require to do in the Excel file, you can do it while you are working through this kind of result list option of reviewing the filtered or the retrieved patents. Now, we all, when we develop a search strategy, we always feel that it can be important or it can be helpful if we have the chance of going back and review through the steps through which we went through to reach the point of this particular step of generation of a search syntax. Now, with this option of history, you can always have a look at the previous steps which you had taken to reach to the particular search syntax in which you are now in the particular sheet. We can create this history from this option history, and this pops up. By default, the enable search history option is kept checked. If you do not want it, you can just uncheck this box here. The sequence of searches chronologically are shown here. The 1000 entries are saved here. So once you reach 1000, then after that, the oldest entry gets deleted. As you can see, my latest entry was the custom field that I had generated. Say, for example, and this happens to us when we are in the process of generating a search syntax, that we may feel like adding to our current search syntax something that we had done previously. And if that is something which I want to do while I'm in the syntax mode in PatentSight, I can just say and then I can reference to the steps in my history through the single hash. So this 2355 is the one that has the custom field that I had generated. Maybe if this is what I want to retrieve, I can just reference it there and it gets activated here, and I will retrieve those two patents that I had marked as important, which I knew satisfy my search criteria. This is also available in PatentSight. You can always work, and you don't need to keep your things, or as we are all used to doing, like jotting it down somewhere so that we don't forget. This is now available in PatentSight for you. As we are discussing this process of generating search syntaxes and going step by step, it always happens that when we have generated a search syntax, for example, this one, where I have just relied upon a combination of full text keywords and have specified a filing date to have a prior art search for my patent application, I may feel like narrowing down my search based on other factors. For example, here it's IPC. I may feel like I would like to narrow down my search by adding the IPC related to anti-infectives and excluding the one related to anti-neoplastics. I would like to give this good news to you. The drag and drop option that we all are very happy about and we use extensively works very well, perfectly fine, even in the syntax mode. If this is something you want to work on, you can just drag and drop it here and it gets activated. As we are used to work in the visual mode, it's always the AND operator that concatenates your drag and drop parameter. You can then change it to AND or add not. So if I want to do this, this is AND, and I can just again drag and drop it here, and I can just add AND not. I would just like to take this moment to let you know, and I think all of you might be knowing it, but still this is something I feel very comfortable while I generate patent search criteria in PatentSight. For example, this is a particular kind of a thing where I have retrieved patents based on keywords. I haven't used IPC or CPC, but now I want to exclude the ones that are related to cancer, and I see that this is the result list here. This is related to metastasis. I may not require it. You can always use the drag and drop from result list into the search filter box to update your search syntax. This is as simple, and I think I love this feature because it helps me to retrieve the related IPCs and exclude the unrelated IPCs and develop my search. So as I did for this one, I narrowed down my search. You can, this is how it will look like here. It down, I have a very focused search criteria where I have used the keywords related to SARS and MERS and have concatenated them with anti-infectives and excluded the cancer ones. And now I have just used a pre-customized owner main indicators table where I find most of the companies we are hearing about there in the news. Based on that, I can work. I have narrowed down my search and I have regenerated the charts that we are used to using. For example, this is a corporate portfolio strength chart where you see Regeneron, Gilead Sciences. They are all in the news, and thinking that I'm in the right track if I'm interested in searching for something related to coronavirus. I would request all of you to take good advantage of the syntax mode. We hope that it assists you further in your workflow of patent monitoring, patent searching, and we would be very happy if you can let us know your feedback when you work on it, as well as if there is any suggestion based on which we can improve, please do let us know. It will be of great help to us. Thank you.
Great, Shabani. Thank you very much. We have a couple of questions. My first question, of course, would be now that we talked about this topic of SARS, MERS, and so on, when do we overcome the crisis?
This I should think AstraZeneca, Novo Nordisk, they should be answering.
We should ask them the question. No, we also have some further question. Is there a syntax cheat sheet for the result list? I think it's already there. Or if you click on the there we go.
Yes.
We can have a look at all the operators, the operators, and so on.
Yeah, that is a very good question actually, because when you are copying it from a saved search which you have used in some other conventionally used search tools, and you are trying to replicate the search in here, it's a good idea to have a look at what these wildcard operators signify, so that you exactly retrieve based on the search syntax the ones that you have created earlier. Yeah, so the syntax cheat sheet is available for that.
Perfect. Yeah. if you want to have a look again here. Another question, when we talked about the result list, is it possible to sort the result list not just by competitive impact, but also by patents recently published?
We have the option to sort them by the year of first filing, but that may not be the exact year of first publication. But apart from the competitive impact, the sorting options of first filing is available. So at least you can see the youngest patents first and then chronologically see the older ones.
Yes. Yeah, but that's a good hint. We take that as well, that we might offer option here as well as what has been published latest. Another question is there a combined search field for IPC and CPC, something like a superclass? I think I can already answer this one. We don't have this yet, but this is also something we would forward. I heard this quite a bit also from other customers that they ask for a superclass filter. Definitely forward this again to our developers. I have another question here. The custom field importance, yes, no. How was that created, and how can you assign this? Probably not exactly part of the search syntax, but definitely something we can talk about here.
Yes, as I discussed earlier, the custom fields are created by going to options, administrate custom fields, and then we create a new custom field. Say I will just use another simple thing that I say important, and I say yes or no. And then I have, as we describe custom fields, I describe the type, whether it's text and whether it's single or multiple value. I do that. And with the sharing settings, in case you have more than one person who has access to PatentSight, and if you want to share it, you can use that sharing settings here, so that once you have done it, you can keep on communicating based on the generated custom field with your colleagues. Once it is done, and the last thing that is required is to mark this particular custom field as a favorite so that you see it in the result list custom fields section. I mark this one as a favorite, and this is done. And then this is a textual custom field. I could have also written yes or no, or maybe not decided. This can also happen, and this is also something that can be retrieved. So next time when I go to custom fields and I'm getting it, I can either write yes, this, or I can also get not decided as an option to select. I hope this answers your question. And as we discussed, I wanted to mention this to you because if I'm giving an example of prior art search, I wanted to show you that you can use PatentSight to mark your patents as important for your prior art review, or not important, or not decided, whichever way you want to categorize them.
Yeah, regarding this one, there is an additional question just came in. If we can have a drop-down menu for yes and no. So just like a pick box where you only have these two options. Yes, this is also possible when setting up the custom field.
Yeah.
Also possible. Next, I have some more question. One, I think here, this one. When doing the patent monitoring, do you always get every family with a new equivalent, or can you also limit it to completely new families?
I'm sorry, did I hear correct? Or we can limit it to what?
Yeah, so basically, when we do the monitoring, would we see new like with the update searches? Would we see families just because of a new family member, or do we simply see completely new families?
We may see completely new family members. For example, as you see here, out of the 9 that I have, some of them are newly filed, which were published after I had created the tag on 16th of July, or some of them that were there, which were not really very, I mean, they are not the family as a family, it's not new. However, it has a document that has been filed in 2020 and can affect it. we work at the patent family level, so this is the best we can provide, because based on a document that claims priority to an earlier file, it will be assigned to the particular patent family.
Yeah, so it's basically completely new families what we're looking at here for. And then last question, what happens, so in the search history, there are 1,000 entries. What happens if we exceed this 1,000 entries?
Yes, as you see, even in my search history, the number is around 2,000. So I must have exceeded 1,000. So once I have reached 1,000, the next means my 1,001 entry led to the deletion of my first entry in the history. The way our mailboxes work, it's the same way. So the oldest one gets deleted, and then you keep on adding the newest 1,000 ones.
Yeah. So if you have a search there which is quite important to you, you should definitely think about saving this, which you can do here on the right side.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it. If you have further questions on this, please feel free to reach out to me, Shabani, or to your customer success manager. I hope we answered all the questions. Thanks a lot for joining the webinar. Shabani, thanks a lot for presenting, really interesting. Myself also looking forward to use the search more. And I wish everyone a great Thursday afternoon, and then we talk again, or you hear us talking again in the next user webinar, which is planned to be about our new PowerPoint export of workbooks. All right, everyone, have a great evening, and goodbye.
Thank you very much for your time today. Thanks a lot.